527. Could you please rise and pledge allegiance to the flag? Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Agundes.
Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you.
Okay, a revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda. Do we have any changes, please? No changes? Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
David and Ed. Please vote. Report out of closed session.
There's no report tonight at closed session, Mr. President.
Thank you. Update by the superintendent.
Well, again, thank you all for coming, and thank you in celebrating Mr. Holstrom's 43 years in the district with us. Well, as you know, the organization will continue to move on. Congratulate Mrs. Twyman on being elected, not reelected, because she was elected for her first term in a trustee area, but of course reelected. Congratulations, Mrs. Twyman. And replacing Mr. Holstrom on the board is Dr. Jose Arauz. Dr. Arauz is back there. Please stand up and be recognized. Dr. Arauz is principal at Rubidoux High School in the Jurupa Valley Unified School District, and he's worked here. He was assistant principal at Pinacate. He had other teaching jobs before that, but assistant principal at Pinacate, assistant principal at a high school level in Moreno Valley, middle school principal in Alvord, middle school principal in Jurupa, and now high school principal. So you can see this guy's moving up. But Dr. Arauz, you're a great educator, and I welcome you. I know you'll be a great addition to the governing board. Thank you. Well, we got a lot of great things to talk about tonight. And first of all, I want to introduce Lavella Singer from the Dora Nelson African American Art and History Museum and her mother, Mabel Kearney. A few months ago, we helped support them in an activity that I don't want to say anything more. I'll take all your thunder away. So please come up and talk, Ms. Singer. Thank you. You got to come to the microphone. Sorry. Yeah, well, it's been askew there.
Please forgive me. This is the first time I've attended a board meeting, so I will accept any coaching in terms of being appropriate. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Greenberg, and to the Paris Union High School board. And Mr. Holstrom, my 8th grade science teacher from Paris Valley Junior High, which is actually now CMI. Yes. So thank you for wonderful years in middle school. And congratulations on working on the board here at Paris High. Thank you so much, Dr. Greenberg, for your allowing us to come and share for a few moments with all of you this evening. It was back in August that we had a special event as a fundraiser for our Dora Nelson African American Art and History Museum. And I have a tendency to talk on and on about it. So I have provided a 2-minute video clip, where you'll get a chance to see the visionary and founder and the co-founder, as well as learn a little bit about it. So it's a 2-minute clip I'd like to share with you, and then we can either follow that, or I can just do everything and it'll be over at the end of the clip. Okay. I just wanted to, in addition to sharing that information, let you know some of the activities that we'll be looking forward to participating in the future, and we hope that Paris High School can also be a part of that, with engaging the youth, and especially the youth in our immediate community there at the museum, nearest to the museum. But what I will share with you is the poster. We did a one-man show as a fundraiser, and it was The Life and Time of Paul Robeson. And I just thought I would bring the poster and share with you. It is the actor Stogie Kenyatta came out and did, yes, I will, and did excellent performance. If you ever get the opportunity to see it, please don't hesitate. A friend of mine in Santa Monica had saw it, and we ended up going and viewing it at the Santa Monica Playhouse, and was definitely something that I thought would be appropriate as we as I chair the reorganizing committee at the museum and try to re-enter the community with things of substance and significant history and contributions that African Americans have made. And I thought Paul Robeson was an ideal individual to kind of kick off that idea. So in that whole process, I had the privilege to share with Dr. Greenberg some of the ideas that we have been thinking about. And when I shared with him about the show we were planning on doing, he was very supportive in helping us and agreed to partner with us. So we look to do some wonderful things in the future, and I thank you very much for your support. So with no further ado, I would like to show you the 2-minute clip. And those of you who are not familiar with the museum, this will be an opportunity to get acquainted. And then I have a couple upcoming events I'll share with you and be done. Oh, yeah, there's Sam.
Representing the rich history of Black Americans in Paris, the Inland Empire, and beyond. Alberta Kearney and her husband Charles, now both 90, founded the museum in 1991. Alberta named it after Dora Nelson, a former slave and the organizer of the first Black Baptist church in Paris.
I felt that Dora Nelson should be recognized for her contribution to the Black community.
Lavella, a daughter of the Kearneys, is inspired to continue her mother's work.
Inspires me to continue the work that my mother started, as far as having the museum here, having a place that let our young people know that we have an learning and hearing about the challenges of the past and how they were overcome by people that really had perseverance.
And when it comes to overcoming obstacles, none was greater in Black history than the existence of slavery. The museum has on display an actual receipt for the sale of a person.
And I think these are very significant in our collection for our current generations and our future generations to recognize this very dark time in our history.
As to the future of the museum, Alberta sees it as a work in progress that will continue to grow and educate.
This humble little museum now, one day it's going to be world renowned. Because we don't just have Black history here, we got white history. We've got Indian history here in this museum. We all here together. We all need each other.
Reporting from Paris, this is Glenn Ross.
So since that time, that was done in 2011, and since that time, my father, Mr. Kearney, has passed away. This month is 2 years, but we were very honored to have the the idea of the museum presented as a gift to our community. And my desire, I attended school here in Paris. I've been away for 30 years and raising my family. I have the honor and privilege to come back, and it is my desire to take the museum as an institution to a level that we can all feel proud of. And in the process of all that has occurred, we are honored to share with you that our museum has been, because it is the only repository, especially for African American history, between Los Angeles and San Diego, we were invited to host the Association of African American Museums conference in the year 2016. And so that has been an invitation that we've had since 2012, and we've been working to do a number of things, fundraising, getting a facelift, just really preparing ourselves to not only for this special occasion, but to re-enter our community and be able to make a difference and share the rich history that we have, and develop an understanding and do some great things with not only our community or the young people in our community, but our community at large. So I do thank you for your attention. I just wanted to share also upcoming events. We're looking forward. This will be the third year in a row that we've collaborated with the Paris Valley Historical Society, and we are looking forward to joining with them again in February to do a fundraiser for the museum. And we usually have a nice program, as well as you have a delicious meal. So it will be a Sunday afternoon, and I hope that you will look out for more information. We usually do our tickets on Eventbrite, so you can look there and purchase your ticket or contact me or Katie from the Historical Society. Also, we have the privilege, we were invited by the Paris Cesar Chavez Library over a year and a half ago to join them and partner with them to present to the community a grant from the National Endowment of the Humanities in marking the 150th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation and the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. And so there have been a number of commemorative events throughout the nation, and we were one of 500 museums, libraries, and cultural institutions across the country to be selected to host 5 documentaries as it relates to the civil rights experience within the United States, as well as screening the documentaries and creating a local panel of scholars that would answer and open up conversation in our community. And so we are delighted to be able to participate in that. It will begin in January. We will be doing it every other month through September. So I do have information regarding that, and I hope that you all will look forward to joining us and participating in that as well. So we have scholars from UCR, which, engaging local scholars to just discuss issues around each of the documentaries. And the documentaries are The Abolitionists, Slavery by Another Name, The Loving Story, Freedom Riders, and Freedom Summer. So you can go to the website of the National Endowment, and it's called Created Equal, if you're not already familiar with it. I do think that is all I wanted to share. We will, as I said, be screening and having those panel discussions January through September. So we hope that you will join us for all of them, or one or two of them, but we will look forward to your participation and keep you posted. And we do have, my mother, Mrs. Kearney, has had she's just full of, as a visionary, wonderful ideas. And I know we can't do them all, but one that has been on our heart for a great while is, as we are an art and history museum, sharing some of the art of our culture through and preservation of spirituals. And she has had this vision to engage some of the youth at our neighborhood school. We're right down the street or up the street from the academy. And I don't, and so one of the things that the young people pass there, and we just wanted to offer something. And of course, it would be open to everyone in the district that would be interested. But the desire and the interest is to offer a musical opportunity for them to engage and just kind of, or a gardening project. So we actually have 2 garden projects, one a historical garden and the other a community garden. And so we just have some ideas that we'd like to have some further assistance. And we have an outstanding agricultural program at the high school. And so hopefully we can collaborate and do some things in the future. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Ms. Singer. And it's an honor and a privilege for the district to support local history. We teach history at school, and local history sometimes gets overlooked, and there's a ton of local history here that needs to be remembered and cherished. So thank you very much. A little bit different tonight. We're going to recognize 2 students, and we're not recognizing them for athletics. We're not recognizing them for academics. But I came across this article and was just floored by it. A local teenager, I'm reading right from the article, a local teenager has raised the bar for meeting high school community service hours. Josh Madrid is a junior at Paloma Valley High School in Menifee who has a passion for cars and helping those less fortunate. Madrid joined forces with his friend and classmate, Isaiah Valdez, and together the 2 teenagers created and organized and kicked off the Cruise for the Kids fundraiser. And we're fortunate that we have Isaiah here tonight along with Josh. And so, gentlemen, why don't you come up and be recognized for your wonderful work?
Before we get started, we would just like to thank you guys for inviting us over to present our cruise. So thank you.
Well, I'm Josh, and this is Isaiah. We started a charity cruise, and it's to raise money to All About Kids Foundation. They're from Temecula, and I actually know about this foundation because my sister, she was foster care, and we adopted her, and then we just wanted to help out, support them, and we decided, like, why not do a car cruise, raise money, be able to do things like that we like, and help like the community at the same time. And then we had about 150 cars that came out. We raised over $1,000, and we had all these like amazing cars came out. It started over in Elsinore. We went up Ortega Highway and then down to PCH 1, and we just cruised there. Went to Huntington Beach. We had food, and everyone just hung out, and it was a good day. We had a lot of people that donated water, snacks, and we just gave those to all the people who donated money. We were just asking for a minimum $5. We had some people that donated up to like $60, so it was a good event. Here's some of the cars that came out to the cruise.
Wow.
So these are 2 Corvette Stingrays. The one on the right is actually in our car crew. And here's some other pictures. Here's a Nissan GTR that came out to support. He donated a good amount of money to help the cruise.
That's like a $100,000 car, so.
Yeah. And then SoCal Camaro is also a car club, and they came out with 40-plus cars to support our foundation or to our charity event.
I'd have known I would have brought my Camaro there.
And then these are just 2 cars that also came out to support. This is where we met up at the Walmart shopping center in Elsinore. And here's us cruising down the Pacific Coast Highway. And as you can see, there's a Ferrari right there cruising with us. And then this is just us parked on the side of the road, kind of by Lakeside High School. And we were just waiting for everyone to catch up before we head up the Ortegas.
And this is our crew right here up in the front. So we all led it, and then everybody else followed us.
And then these are just some photos from the car cruise.
That's SoCal Camaro.
Here's another Nissan GTR that came out. Another GTR that came out to support. and then another Dodge Viper that came out. And then here's our crew member that came out leading the cruise. This is right before the Ortega Highway. Some other cars that came out. And then here's another Corvette that came out, and right here we were just handing out the pamphlets to donate money and giving out our route directions. And then if you can see on the next slide, I think it should be.
We made these donation slips that we actually got donated, and they had where the people can put the donation amount, their car, what type of car they have, their email address, and everything is tax deductible. So we're gonna be sending them all receipts for who made the donations and things like that. And so we just gave it to them as they entered. As you can see, we have a bunch of cars lined up and stuff like that.
There's just some other cars, and then as you can see that.
Oh, sorry. See if I can point to it. Can you go to the, oh, my bad.
All right, so.
Oh, this doesn't like the laser button. Okay, we won't use the laser.
Yeah, that one, right? 15.
Yeah.
All right, so that easy up or canopy back there is where people would go and donate the money, and they'd also get a snack, water, and take pictures or whatever else they would like to do. And we had also cars parked around there waiting to go.
Yeah, we had about 10 to 12 boxes of honey buns and muffins and all this stuff that was donated to us, and a bunch of water bottles. So everyone that donated, they all got a free pastry and a drink before we head out to the cruise.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Well, gentlemen, on behalf of the district, I have to tell you, we talk about test scores and college readiness and winning CIF championships, but giving back to your community, supporting a group that fosters students and helps find foster homes for them, that's just amazing. I am in awe of what you've done. And on behalf of the board and the community, thank you. Thank you for, I know you didn't do it for public attention. I know you didn't do it to get your name in the newspaper, but you have to feel really good about what you've done because you've made your community better.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Wow. Okay, Steve Swartz is now going to do Rave Awards. He told me, gee, Jonathan, don't put me on after kids, but here he goes. We're going to recognize a couple of our employees. Steve Swartz.
Okay, if I could have Jeff Perez join me at the podium. Is Jeff? There he is. While Jeff is coming up, the Rave Award, just a reminder for you and for our audience, is an acronym for recognizing all valuable employees. And this is something that we have developed that is an opportunity for us, for anybody in the district, to recognize those employees who go above and beyond. We have so many, and it's our pleasure to recognize one today, Jeff Perez, who is the plant supervisor at Paloma Valley High School. Has nominated somebody. I'll let Jeff talk about that person.
Thank you. Let me lower this to my height. There we go. So, good evening, everyone. This person I want to recognize is an individual that has done tremendous contribution to Paloma Valley High School and Paris Union High School District. Let me tell you a short story. I worked for a Steelcase office furniture factory for 15 years. #1 office furniture company in the whole United States and the whole world. Herman Miller was second, then it was Hayworth. But we at Steelcase can only do so much if it wasn't for your maintenance department. If they weren't there to keep your machines going, keeping things going 24/7, 2 shifts going, you wouldn't be able to make money. You wouldn't be able to be #1. And when I look at this individual, I think about those days when I needed my machine going to be run in production. or when I'm in management and my department of 12 people needed to get production out, and my maintenance person had to be there. But at Paloma Valley, this individual has gone beyond that and has really surprised me. He keeps this school going. He does everything, a task, without any questions asked. He's self-motivated, self-intelligent, just does the job. He'll come to me and says, "Here, Jeff, I got this fixed. Can you turn a work order in?" "Got it done? Okay, thank you." Changing ballast, to checking AC units, to everything you can think of. Electrical outlets in the stadium turf, to repairing fencing, bleachers, anything. He just keeps the facility safe for not just the staff, but for the students. And I would like to recognize Dave Briscoe. Can you come up here, please? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're a senior maintenance worker with Paris Union High School District. And what's that?
That means I'm old.
Oh, that means then I'm older than you. I don't know how many years he's been with the district, but let me tell you, he is a self-motivated individual, and I'm so happy and proud to have him there at Paloma Valley High School. So, Dave, I want to recognize you with this RAVE Award. I want to thank you so much for your contribution that you do for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got something to say, Dave? Reach.
I just know so many people in the district that deserve this a whole lot more than I do. But I just want to thank you very much.
Okay. Dr. Greenberg, our other nominee tonight is, I don't find him in the audience, so perhaps we'll... I'm sorry? Perhaps we can do it later in the program this morning? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on. And, we do a lot of things very innovative in the district, but we always try to be safe. And we're fortunate tonight to have Suzanne Trowbridge here from Keenan, and I'll let you do the rest, Tanya.
Try again.
Candace, Tanya, Marcy, Lori, Sarah. Stop me when I get the name right. Candace, okay.
All of us that work with you on a daily basis and help keep track of each other. So, Suzanne, thank you for being here. I'll let you give a little bit of background, but we thank you for being here, and we're really proud of all of the work that has been done with Keenan and Associates, our facilities department, and with Neff Construction, and I'll let you explain the rest.
Okay, great. Do you participate in an owner-controlled insurance program for your construction insurance? And is the lights on? Is it just I'm not close enough? There we go. So you participate in an owner-controlled insurance program for your construction projects. And as a result of that, there's a little bit of safety oversight. And as a result of good safety and good losses, then there's opportunities for recognition for all the great construction that comes along with that. So this is, I'd like to recognize Hector and Art for their great facilities program. There you go. Smile for the camera. Get it. Get Art in there too. And then we would like to recognize their construction partners, Neff Construction. They do your construction management, and that is really quite a bit of the heavy lifting on getting your construction projects complete. So I apologize. I have
Renee Williams.
Renee Williams is here with Neff Construction, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Now, this is unusual. Normally, we give awards out, but tonight we have a teacher from Heritage High School, Timothy Posley, and I think he wants to recognize us as well. Somebody leave their cell phone up here. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Clay.
Good evening, Dr. Greenberg, Board. So I'm a member of the California Army National Guard, and so as a member, we're constantly required to miss days of work because of our trainings or sometimes months or years at a time due to shipping off to trainings or deployments or whatever it may be. And so after being hired in the district, we're able to give these awards to our employers, basically thanking them for working with us and being able to release us, because we know it's not very optional on your end to release us because of some laws that were passed. So what they've created is a ESGR program. It's Employer Support of the Guard program. And what it does is it allows us as Guard members to recognize our employers and our the people we work for, basically, to say thank you for working with us and constantly, putting up with us, being out days at a time, weeks at a time for different training events. So I submitted a while back these awards, and they finally came in and were delivered straight to Steve, the guy getting them. It was supposed to be a surprise. It didn't work very well, apparently. They misunderstood, delivered them to Heritage High School, and somehow they ended up here. So I have a couple, one for Steve Schwartz, and then the other is for my principal, Miss Julie Zerrell.
Nice.
I have to add this, though, because Tim was just nominated as our Rookie Teacher of the Year, so it definitely tells you that him being gone on occasion is well worth it.
I just want to say this comes in my name, but this is a district-wide recognition. This is not anything I've done by myself, other than the team in the HR department in our whole district, and we are proud to always hire our best employees, and especially proud we can hire active duty and veterans because they bring so much to the table for our students in our community. So, Tim, and he's a Paris High grad too. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Posley. On October 28th, we had our 8th annual college fair at Heritage High School, and I'm reading from what Audrey Smith wrote because it was way better than what I wrote. It was a huge success. We had 59 colleges and branches of the military attend. As always, we were impressed. They were impressed with the wonderful hospitality and how great our students are. The comments on the evaluation forms turned in by the representatives all spoke of the genuine interest of the students in their colleges and the great questions they asked. They had a lot to say about the warmth and friendliness of all the staff, and especially of Ben Washburn's fantastic grilling, besides being a great counselor. It takes a whole team of us working together to make this happen, and there are many people to thank. Our College Fair Committee never ceases to amaze with the dedication year after year, the work they put in. Thank you to Carolina Salvador, Lee Alfred, Kathleen Reed, and Pete Lopez. Thank you to Julie Zerrell. You always support us in whatever we need. You're the reason we're able to put on such successful events like the College Fair. Don Williamson and Nicholas Hilton for helping pay for dinner. Thank you, Lynn Minius, for your help in supervising the event. Your support is unnoticed. Thank you to me for attending every year, but that's my job. Your commitment and support are very much appreciated by us. Thank you to Mike Slippage and the custodial staff, Jose, Joe, Bernice, Jorge, Tony D, Javier, Lorena, Tony Hifo, and Rosa. This was the first time ever the gym was set up the night before, and the quickest we broke everything down. You will never know just how much you're appreciated. Thank you to Ben Washburn for barbecuing for all the representatives. Amazing. This is what everyone said. Thank you, Teresa and Suris, for making all of our table signs and labels for the folders and college fair flyer and everything else we asked you for. You're so appreciated. Chris Madalena was called, and you answered. You never say no. We love you. Thank you, Renee Garcia, for lending us your ASB kids to be our personal slaves for the evening. Lisa Salazar, you make it easy for us just to go shop and get what we need. Thank you. Rosemarie Puente, you make the labels for the bags with your own personal touch. We are thankful. to the Paris High School JROTC and Master Sergeant Saucedo. Every year, the representatives always mention how welcome they feel being greeted in the parking lot by the cadets. Thank you for being so willing to help us. Lastly, a huge thank to Adam Weinberger, who controlled the crowd by himself and did a wonderful job. It was a blessing having you there. It's one of the greatest honors to be able to serve our children and community by putting on this college fair every year. We look forward to it next year and many more of the same. We thank all of you. And this is from Coral Prendergast and not just Audrey Smith. So thank you, Coral. And thank Audrey Smith. Oh, okay. Didn't want to leave anything out. Speaking of college fairs, on November 6th and 7th, Colorado State University, we had Ruben Flores here, and he was at Paris High School and then at Heritage High School and recruiting our students because Colorado State has a wonderful agricultural program. We don't want our students just to think that UC Davis or Cal Poly Pomona or Cal Poly San Luis Obispo are the only games in town. And so we thank Mrs. Cooley for making this all happen. She has a few connections there in Colorado. So thank you, Mrs. Cooley. Veterans Day Parade, November 8th, led a lot of student groups there. I was honored to be in a car, one of the Mott's cars, 1930, but I can't remember what it was. But Ann Mott was driving, and I'm always appreciative because when I drive those cars, I'm always afraid I'm going to hit something, and you can't get the parts very easily. But that parade is always very well attended. As you know, Joe Williams has a passion for technology, but a passion for the Solar Boat program that we've done for many, many, many years at Paloma. Then Paloma and Paris collaborated, and now all three high schools are collaborating. And now we've taken on a partner. We're going to be partnering with the Murrieta Valley Unified School District. So we're going to have a combined solar boat experience. And so we thank Eastern Municipal Water District and the Metropolitan Water District for allowing our students to have this experience. It'll be in May at Lake Skinner. It's always hot, but it's always a wonderful opportunity in case you haven't been able to be there. Oh, so skipping over to athletics quickly. Michael Pfeiffer, the athletic director at Paloma Valley High School, says that the Riverside County Office of Education recognizes academic champions for each sport. It is time to submit entries for fall sports, and we're proud to announce that Paloma Valley Athletics will submit entries for each of our fall sports, and that every varsity team has achieved a GPA higher than 3.0. Pretty amazing thing. Congratulations. And we had similar news last month from Paris High School, so way to go, Wildcats. Speaking of the Wildcats, there was a big football game. Menifee Bowl 5 occurred at Heritage High School last month, and it was a great note from Athletic Director Scott Moore, but I have to read you what Mr. Williamson said in response. Mr. Moore said, "What an exciting game last night. More than that, what a class act our two schools were on the field and in the stands. The atmosphere was electric. How fun it must have been for these young men on the field to experience that. I want to congratulate Paloma Valley for their fine play and sportsmanship and their team displayed last night. Your boys fought hard and unfortunately came up short, but have nothing to hang their head about. Your fans were great, cheering for their school. They are definitely proud to be Wildcats. What a show we put on for our community. We showed the community that for a few hours once a year, we are enemies on the field, but the rest of the year, we're partners in building and shaping our future leaders. Thank you again to Paloma Valley. You guys are truly a class act. I look forward to next year at your place." And here's what Mr. Williamson said. "Thank you, Scott. I agree that both schools showed a lot of spirit in class last night. Our athletes fought hard on the field on both sides of the line. Thank you for doing such a great job of hosting. By the way, please don't forget to bring the trophy with you to Paloma next year. That way it won't have far to go to find its new home." Love your humor, Mr. Williamson. Love it. Many of you know that the Paris High football program had a rejuvenation this year. They hadn't won many games in a long time, and this year they won 6. We think they've got a great coach. They have more kids involved. There's a lot of reasons the program's on the upswing. But another reason is because we have a tackle football program at Pinacati Middle School. And believe it or not, in a 28-26 win over Linfield of Temecula, They won the championship. They're middle school champions, and we're hoping they'll go to Paris High School and do this. That was a Freudian slip. I said Paris. Correct the record. We had a really nice letter from the athletic director from Linfield. He said, obviously I wanted Linfield to win, but I'm extremely happy for you guys. I know all too well what a win like this does for a community. I pray the battle that was fought and won translate into invaluable lessons, not only on the field, but more importantly off the field. You have great young men that showed courage and great character that not only knocked our boys to the ground hard, but then helped them up after every play. That's the way the game shouldn't be played. Couldn't be more proud by how far your program has come. So again, congratulations, Pinacati Middle School, Mr. Morgan, champions, middle school champions in football. Quite an accomplishment. Okay, so we do professional development for administrators. We do them for teachers. We never talk about the professional development we need to do for our classified and clerical staff as well. And on December 2nd, Candace Rains and Chris Rabing are going to be putting on Google training for, you didn't know that, Chris? You had that kind of look? Candace didn't tell you yet? They're going to be doing training for our clerical staff. And then, more importantly, this district has been part of the California Association of Educational Office Professionals, CAEOP. And see, I didn't even have to look down to remember that. And they're on March 13th and 14th, they have their annual conference. We've been involved. We've had officers from Linda Quattlebaum to Sarah to virtually everybody who's in an important clerical position here at the district office. And on March 13th and 14th, Martha Valenzuela will be presenting to a statewide conference, our Martha, on school office Spanish. And one of our teachers, Dr. Julie Shaw, will be presenting Hanging Out with Google. So I want you to know, not only are we presenting in-house, but we're presenting out there, and our people deserve a lot of recognition for that. Two final items. First one is that three items. I want to introduce, even though she's not going to be approved to the CMI agenda, I wanted to introduce the new assistant principal to be at California Military Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, Robin Davis. Please stand up and be recognized. Robin Davis, formerly Robin Spells, was a teacher there, and she is a graduate of the Air Force Academy, the United States Air Force Academy. So very impressed, and we're happy to have her. It's quite an honor. Also, there always you get these little rumors around the district. Obviously, we're doing a lot more in technology, and some rumors have been going around that we're going to be closing the libraries. We are not closing the libraries in the district. Just like teaching and learning is changing in the classroom, libraries will always be there, but they are going to transition into being libraries of the 21st century, which is going to include a lot more technology, but there's still going to be books to read. And so I just want to make sure that publicly we put to rest the rumor that somehow we were closing the libraries. We're clearly not doing that. Finally, I want to read a statement. We're talking about implementing a program called the A+ Credit Recovery Program, which we've done for years, but now on Chromebooks. As a district, we have a goal, which is part of our LCAP plan, to increase the graduation rate while obviously reducing or eliminating the dropout rate. For the past few years, we have used online credit recovery program in which students come into a classroom during the school day, after school, or on Saturdays or school vacations to make up credits they lost when they received an F in a course. As the only school district still in the Inland Empire, which all of our students have devices, Chromebooks, it makes sense that students be able to make up courses on their own devices with obvious certain restrictions. Last week, I wasn't aware of how far the idea had advanced. I have since been informed that we are very close to rolling out this great idea. Online credit recovery outside of the classroom, out of the confines of the school campus, is not new. Colleges and universities have done it for years, and so has our next-door neighbor, Hemet Unified School District, which allows students to complete online credit recovery on their own devices, as well as acceleration, and they've done it for about 2 years. All that being said, the lady to my left, Assistant Superintendent Marcy Savage, will have an information input session tomorrow for teachers, site administrators, technology people, to try to work out the concerns or problems that may arise when the program's rolled out. And there's always going to be some who are going to say, we should wait until all the bugs are worked out. I would remind them about our student Chromebooks, our Scholar Plus rollout that we did last year. If we waited until all the concerns and possible concerns were ironed out for that, those Chromebooks would be still sitting in their boxes waiting to be distributed. We don't need to wait, form a committee, or in any way delay the implementation of a program that would help our students graduate on time. As with Scholar Plus, Common Core implementation, and other positive district initiatives, A+ credit recovery on student devices is an initiative worth pursuing. As with anything else, mistakes can be corrected and guidelines will be improved along the way. Doing nothing to help our students is not an option. And on behalf of the governing board and the people sitting on this side of the table, I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. And that'll conclude my report for this evening.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Okay, oral reports, student representatives to the board. Okay, from Heritage High School, student representative Anthony Hugheshoff and Natalie Bowen. I hope I didn't abuse that last name.
Good evening, board members and trustees. My name is Anthony.
And my name is Natalie.
So first, I want to let you guys know that the Paloma game did go off amazing. Not just the game, but also the Spirit Week we had before. The entire week was amazing. We had a lot of participation, more than usual. And we even had Paloma come to Heritage on that Thursday to help make posters for the game. I made a lot of great friends and got to know the ASB president very well. We also had a college fair on the 28th, which, as a senior, it's very important that I go for the senior portfolio. And I loved being there and seeing all of the seniors from around the district show up. We also had a college application party on the 5th, which the seniors got to apply for UC and Cal States. And we can't wait to hear about all the colleges they got accepted to.
The National Honor Society had a highway cleanup day, November 15th and 16th. Heritage also participated in a zombie run, November 15th. It was a great run and an awesome Heritage volunteers went. At the end, the volunteers had a scary Black Ops run for the volunteers.
Our girls volleyball team had their first round at CIF playoffs, and they won against San Gorino. They won 3-0, and we want to congratulate the MVP of the game, Diamond Brogan. They went on to round 2, which is the farthest we've gone before, but they lost against Santa Monica. It was a close game. It was 3-1, but we want to congratulate all the seniors on getting this far, and we want to congratulate the senior captains, number 5, Marissa Creo, and number 12, Diamond Brogan.
Round 1 of CIF football, we went against Rim of the World. DJ Swell DJ'd the game, and we had a great turnout. Lots of fun, and parents were also enjoyed the school spirit. Round 2 is going to be against Charter High School this Friday, and we would like to invite you guys to come support Heritage.
Avid went to UCR on November 17th and today. And what I've heard is they had a lot of fun, and some of them are really looking forward to the college. Link Crew is holding a Thankful for Freshmen session on this Friday, the 21st. Freshmen will be given personalized cards from the leaders to invite them to a special lunchtime activity. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. And we're also holding a Cocoa and Cram study session for the freshmen on the 9th and 10th. And that's one that I really like because I like teaching. And I'm really looking forward to something like that. We also, as Link Crew leaders, we went to a student conference on November 6th. I learned a lot of cool stuff along with everybody in Link Crew. We learned how to deal with our freshmen a little bit better and gained some insight on how to get them more participated in our activities. We would like to thank the board as ASB representatives to for approving our 2-day CATA trip this weekend. We are really looking forward to the new ideas to make our school a better place and to better our leadership skills.
And currently, Plus is working on their monthly forum, their Heritage Thankful Tree, and their 12 Days of Kindness. And this past week, FFA had their Green Hand Conference, which went really good. And finals are going to be on December 16th through the 18th.
So we haven't done this before, but we would like to congratulate the first 3 students of the month. Raymond Acosta for September, Karina Contreras for October, and Holly Woods for November. As students, we cannot do the things we do without our supportive faculty and staff. We would like to congratulate our Employees of the Month for November. Our Teacher of the Month is Mr. Marcus Johnson, and our Staff of the Month is Ms. Audrey Smith. Also, we want to give a big congratulations to the School Site Employees of the Year. Teacher of the Year, Ms. Renee Garcia. Rookie Teacher of the Year, Mr. Timothy Posley. Classified Staff of the Year, Ms. Audrey Smith. And Rookie Classified Staff of the Year, Mr. Tony Hefo. We really appreciate all the hard work that they put into our school.
And we'd like to thank you guys for giving us a chance to tell you what's going on at Heritage. Have a great evening.
Trustee Twyman.
Good evening. Good evening, board members, President Holstrom, Superintendent Greenberg, and Cabinet. My name is Anastasia Butler, and I'm a senior at Paloma Valley High School. I'm a representative from ASB, and I would like to talk about some things at Paloma Valley High School. Oh, I'm short, so I can't. This is our Teacher of the Month, Mr. Manhanim. He got presented the award for Teacher of the Month by Mr. Williams. And this right here is our Classified Employee of the Month, Mr. Gilbert Rojas. And he was presented this award by Monica Church. Here's our play that we present. I'm sorry, kind of nervous. This is our play that we conducted. It's called The Birds. Our drama put it all together, and it was a great outcome. Here's also a play that we did in November. Well, I think it was last week. And our ASL put it together. It was called Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Here's some more pictures. And this right here is Dr. Mazur. And he was recognized for always being at our football games, helping out our football players, and make sure everyone knows okay. Here's our senior night at football. Football went to playoffs, first round. Here's our cheer at senior night. And our band. Paloma did their first Day of the Dead event, and we had Folklorico dancers from Mesa High School to perform. And here's some of our students doing face painting. And here's some of the altars that our students had made. Our link crew went to Dr. Martin Luther King High School for training. And this right here is our Maroon Platoon. We were supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Our cross-country girls, our cross-country boys, they both, varsity and junior varsity, won the league titles. And here's our girls volleyball. They came in third in the league and went to CIF, lost the first round to JW North High School. And here are some of our upcoming winter sports. We have basketball for boys and girls, soccer for boys and girls, wrestling, boys volleyball, and water polo. And that's it. I would like to thank you for letting me speak, and congrats on your retirement. Thank you.
Trustee Nielsen.
From Paris High School, student representatives Melissa Vasquez and Ashley Jackson.
All right, there we go. Good evening, President Holstrom and board members, Superintendent Greenberg, and Cabinet. I'm Major Ashley Jackson from Paris High's ROTC. I'm your school board representative. Unfortunately, Melissa couldn't make it tonight, so I'm flying solo. The following are just some of the many things that have been happening here at Paris High School. Recently, the Paris High School Marching Panthers have been working on an 8-minute Disney field show since before school began in July. Putting in many hours for zero period, sometimes even before the sun came up, they were out there working. Although they are small, they're very good for their size and skill level, and have earned a shot at championship due to their hard work and dedication. Last Saturday, our Marching Panthers put on a great show and qualified for the Southern California Judging Association State Band Championship, which will be held this Saturday at Westminster High School. If they place top 3 in their class, they'll be invited to perform at the Grand Championships the same night at Huntington Beach High School. So we wish the best of luck to them. Yes. Another club on campus is PLUS, or Peer Leadership Uniting Students. They have been at hard work this month. The students, along with their teacher, Mr. Salcedo, held a forum for school bullying and prevention. They also gave up their lunchtime to run pledge drives and have students put little hands onto the poster. And that poster was posted around school, so now our students are looking at the poster. And, it's really nice. Furthermore, Link Crew, another club on campus that is headed by Miss Osuna, aims to link our upperclassmen with our freshman students and provides the underclassmen with a peer mentor held on activity night. The Monday of Halloween week, Link Crew viewed a scary movie and had over 150 students in attendance. On the same week, Link Crew also held their 6-week grading period celebration called Freshman Friday. It's a regular thing that happens when grades come out. It's a lunch rally that celebrates good grades for freshmen. Any freshman that came to the DJ table with a GPA of a 3.0 or above received prizes such as spirit shirts, footballs, or a school beanie supplied by local sponsors. Today, they attended a conference at Roosevelt High School to better learn how to reach out to freshmen at Paris High. All right. And in the wonderful world of testing, CELT, CASI, and ASVAB were administered at Paris High School. One item worth noting is the math teacher, Mr. Pena, and Mr. Mesa held a CASI boot camp on Saturday, November 1st, and managed to get over 150 students out of bed Saturday morning to attend to study, which is great. As for the ASVAB, there was a great turnout of members. I was taking it myself, and it was a large amount of numbers that was there from previous years. Furthermore, the famous Avid on campus went to Knott's Berry Farm as part of an Avid Rims party night, and they were joined from other schools all around all around from Riverside, Inyo, Mono, and San Bernardino counties. Today, they also left this morning to attend Azusa Pacific and CBU as a visit. And ASB has been busy as ever in working out of our temporary room. If you ever want to look around to find us, we're past the lunch area, past the gym, past the boys' PE area, past the band room, girls' locker room, and we're the last room on the right. We're there. Exactly. ASB held its first live stream blood drive of the year. Again, our student body showed up in full force to donate blood. Projections of the collected amount are looking very good, somewhere around over 180 units. The exact numbers will be shared as soon as we have them. What also would be known as the student body, they had no idea that they would receive an In-N-Out gift card. They didn't know about it, but despite they didn't know, we had a large turnout of people coming to donate blood, and it was a very nice gesture. Also, two ASB students who we are most proud of here at Paris High is the ASB president, Alejandro Ramirez, the senior class president, Cesar Godoy, who along with Oscar Sanchez were announced as Questbridge finalists. The Questbridge Scholarship will cover 100% of the students' tuition, and students who now have been accepted, and now they're just waiting to be accepted to the colleges that they applied to, colleges such as Stanford, Yale, or Pomona. Yes, 100% covered, so it was great to hear about that. Another student that has been highly recognized from the FFA department just returned from her trip to the National FFA Convention, where she represented Paris High School and California FFA as a national delegate. She went from Kentucky into the capital. She was one of only 36 FFA members selected to in the state. Currently, we are gearing up for the National Date Festival in Indio. Students took their pigs, sheep, goats, and rabbits to this fair and will raise them to the show in February. Also, last but not least, Paris High's ROTC participated in the annual Veterans Day Parade. We were out there in full force with over 160 cadets that showed with various drill teams. A big congratulations to CMI who won first place. Upcoming events here at Paris High School will include tomorrow's ASB Link Crew and Thanksgiving dinner for those needed in our NPR. We come and set up our NPR for families that need it. A pep rally collaboration between Paris High and Penicotti ASB. We like to think Penicotti as our school sister, well, little sister. And the winter formal pep rally that is soon to come up to finish off our finals week. And we look forward to reporting on these events more at the next board meeting. Thank you to Mr. Holstrom. I wish you a happy retirement. Thank you and good night.
Trustee Agundis.
From Pinacate Middle School, Student Rep Monica Orabuena.
Good evening, President Holstrom, members of the board, Dr. Greenberg, members of the cabinet. I am Melissa Linares, Pinacotte's ASB Vice President, and here with me is Monica Orabuena, Pinacotte's ASB Treasurer, and thank you for having us here to talk about the activities at Pinacotte. Excuse me, and here's Monica.
On the week of October 27th through the 31st was Red Ribbon Week. We would like to thank Club Life for organizing the assembly with the Hope dealer Jeremy Bates. It was an inspirational kickoff for the Red Ribbon Week. We would also like to thank all students and staff who participated every day. It was a great week for students who showed our new levels of school spirit throughout the weeks in various ways. So many students participated in the activities, including the pledge to stay drug-free and alcohol-free. It was a lot of fun to see so many students and staff staying connected and involved in positive activities. Lunchtime pep rallies. We would like to thank Coach Jones, Ms. McKenzie, Eddie, Ms. Cardos and ASB, Ms. Mueller, and Club Life for putting on such fun rallies through the last month. ASB, Club Live, the dance team, and many other students have shown leadership and enthusiasm throughout the entire month. It has been a lot of fun. Halloween dance. Thanks go to ASB for putting on our annual Halloween dance. Our Pumas who came out had fun in a safe and positive environment. Several students who attended earned free admission by bringing 3 cans of food, and here's Melissa with more information.
November 3rd through the 7th, in sports, girls volleyball, our girls won their last match of the season against Innovator Horizon. Their final record was 6-4. The Lady Pumas and Coach Meyer did a great job. What an impressive season. Their first winning season in many years. We will especially miss the leadership of our 8th grade volleyball girls. We are so proud of our Pinacate Puma football team who won the championship game against Linfield Christian Middle School. From the start, our Pumas knew they were in a battle. The kicking off, number 5 from Linfield ran it back for a touchdown. Later on, our Pumas were down 20-8 midway through the third quarter, but they showed what expecting excellence is all about. They stayed positive and they never gave up. They came back scoring 2 touchdowns and were leading 22-20, but number 5 scored his 4th touchdown in the fourth quarter. But our Pumas once again stepped up and got the ball back and then scored the final touchdown and went on to win 28-26. We would like to thank all of our parents and staff members who came to the game. Puma Nation showed up in full force, showing and shouting their Puma pride, being every bit as loud as the home crowd. That support kept our Pumas in the game. We want to thank our coaches, Coach Jones, Coach Manville, Coach Cohens, Coach Patrick, and Coach Al, for the outstanding job they did all year long. They finished 7-1 and brought home the trophy. Especially, we want to thank our Puma players who showed what it means to be our best through the season. Not only were they their best making great plays, but they were also their best showing outstanding sportsmanship. Even the Linfield coaches complimented our players on how they hit their players hard, but then helped them up and patted them on the back. They say that we played the game the way that it should be played. And like other teams said, our Pumas were a class act the entire season. Great job and congratulations to our Pinacate football team champions.
We would like to end with a special congratulations to our staff members of the year at Pinacate. Ms. Shamika McKenzie, Teacher of the Year. Mr. Chris Cruz, Rookie Teacher of the Year.
Ms. Simona Webb, Classified Staff Member of the Year. Ms. Cynthia Navarro, Classified Staff Member, Rookie of the Year. Thank you for having us here and have a great evening.
Okay, from Paris Lake High School, we have student representatives Karina Loya, Yasmin Martinez, and Jasmine Rojas.
Good evening, Board President Hallstrom, Board members, Superintendent Dr. Greenberg, and Cabinet. As a representative of Paris Lake High School, let me introduce myself. I am Yasmin Martinez, and I am currently the secretary of my ASB class. And I would like to thank you for having us here. We held a successful trip to Knott's Scary Farm on the 29th of October. Not only were the students well behaved, they also showed up for school even though the trip ran late, proving what good young adults they are. We also held a Halloween maze on the 30th. The setup was overall a success. We were even applauded by the staff members. We are looking at the maze was an experiment almost. So we learned the things we could improve on, so we could look to expanding and improving it next October. We have also held a talent show so that kids could show off their talent, which was successful. Items are slowly trickling in for the food drive, but not as successful as we may like it to be. Our goal was not met, but we still have items to contribute. We plan on revamping it for next year. We would also like to announce that Ms. Lon Johnson was selected as Certificated Staff of the Month for November, while there was a tie for Classified Staff of the Month between Ms. Julie Brown and Mr. Robert Cuevero. They were very honored. We have our fun trips in the works, trying to get the students ready for the holidays and spreading some Christmas cheer around campus. One trip is the Festival of Lights in December.
On campus, we have issued rewards based on behavior, grades, and attendance. One event was SOARS Award, which 3 levels, platinum for the students with a minimum of 3.5 GPA, 95% attendance, no referrals. Gold for students with a 3.0 GPA, 90% I'm so nervous. Attendance and no referrals. Gold for students with, oops, my bad. And last is silver for students with 2.5 GPA, 85% attendance, and no more than 2 referrals. We also have Heifer Johns come out on a monthly basis to award the students with perfect attendance with ice cream. Also, our woodshop class is capable and willing. We also have a new electives such as evidence, woodshops, and art. Overall, we think the first trimester was a success, with 20 grads by the end of this month, guessing 180 by the end of this year. Students be more involved and just trying to make school a fun and successful environment.
Thank you for having us here, for hearing us.
Thank you very much. Trustee Cooley.
Cadet
Testing. Good evening, President Holstrom, Dr. Greenberg, and members of the Cabinet and Board. My name is Cadet Major Miguel Lopez, and I'll be representing CMI today. We ended the month of October, first of all, with our Red Ribbon Week. It was really fun for us cadets because we got to kind of break out of the uniform thing and wear a bracelet, which was really exciting. It's a lot more exciting than you think. I mean, I know it seems like a small thing, but it was really exciting for us, just, being a little rebels with our Red Ribbon Week thing, saying no to drugs. And aside from the 31st being Halloween on a Friday, which was also exciting for us, we got to wear red shirts on that day. And we spelled out CMI. Our CMI cadets spelled out the letter CMI, and we had some people from the March Air Reserve Base come down and take aerial photographs of us. And that was a really exciting event. We started off the month of November with color guard meet at Kaiser High School. With I guess our cadets had a lot of fun there with a bunch of angry DIs screaming at them. So that's always an exciting thing for our cadets too. On November 7th, we had the Harvest Festival, and aside from celebrating the harvest, we had all the clubs of the California Military Institute come out and sell items to raise funds for their club, as well as put money back into our ASB club. On November 8th was the Veterans Day Veterans Day Parade, of course. We had a huge platoon of middle school unarmed cadets march, as well as our CMI armed drill team. Some representatives of the Interact Club, of our Interact Club for CMI, marched with Rotary. And our CMI cheer and dance teams had choreography and performances for the Veterans Day Parade, which was really awesome. On the weekends from November 8th and through the 9th, and November 15th through the 16th, some of our cadets volunteered for the Day Out with Thomas event, which is another really exciting event that our cadets participate in every 6 years since I've been here, and from what I've heard of seniors that have graduated in the past, every year before that. So it's always, the month of November is always a really exciting time for CMI cadets. On November 15th, we had a drill meet at Chaparral High School, so some more fun angry DIs. And on that one, we took first and second place in armed individual drill. as well as first place in minor color guard. On the same day, not only did we do the drill meet, not only did we do Day Out with Thomas, but our marksmanship team also participated in a marksmanship competition, and we took 16th out of 20th place. Now, this might not be too exciting for most people, but this was the first competition for most of our marksmanship team. And from what I see here, being on the marksmanship team and being with my fellow teammates, we can only improve from this. So this is... I like to look at the positive things of every situation. Okay.
Sound like a future superintendent.
On Thanksgiving Day, this coming up Thanksgiving, some of our cadets are going to be helping out again with the Turkeys on Wheels event happening at, I believe, the First Congregational Church here in Paris. On December 6th, we're having another drill meet and some more Angry DIs, and hopefully we'll take some more first place and color guard wins and every win that we can get on that day. Also, today, we celebrated and gave out awards to those cadets who had 3.7 or above GPA at our school for both middle school, high school, and as well as those who had 4.0 GPA or above at our school. And the winners of the certificates also got ice cream, and I just felt the morale rising when they mentioned the ice cream. And man, there was a whole lot of cadets, a whole lot of amazing cadets at our school that were able to participate in this today, and I really want to congratulate them today. Also, earlier this week, we also had the privilege of naming our teachers and classified employees of the year, as well as rookie teachers and classified employees of the year. So, our teacher of the year was Mrs. Angela Love Behrens. Rookie teacher of the year, Mr. Luis Valdivinos. Classified employee of the year, Ms. Helen Freeman. And rookie classified employee of the year, Ms. Tracy Esimakopoulos. I hope I got that correct. Yay! Sorry. Future linguist / English professor, so. That will conclude my presentation for today. President Holstrom, congratulations on your, I believe, 43 years on the board or at the district. I hope you enjoy your retirement, and this coming from everyone at CMI and the rest of the schools. Thank you very much for everything you've done for our district.
Mr. Swartz, we have one more RAVE Award. Our RAVE Award recipient arrived, and we want to recognize Mr. Warren. So go ahead and do that, Steve.
So I'm glad we can get this one in tonight. I'm going to have Marcy Savage come down and actually present the award to Mr. Will Warren. Will, if you would join me up at the podium up here, and I'll let Marcy talk about you a little bit and brag about you and probably embarrass you a lot. So, okay.
I do want to say how much I appreciate Will Warren's son for bringing his dad tonight. I really do appreciate that. For those of you who don't know Will, he didn't forget about tonight. He just failed to put it on his calendar because Will spends every single night answering emails, phone calls, etc. from staff, and so you are excused. Okay, we're just glad you made it. So this is Will Warren to all of you, and he is receiving this award tonight for his extraordinary service and dedication not only to the students but also to the staff of Paris Union High School District. He's dedicated over 19 years to teaching in our district, having taught at Paris High and the Academy as well. In the past 6 years, Will has been the facilitator, the implementer, the designer, and the star, I call it the star, of our district's credit recovery program, commonly known as the A+ program. Thousands of courses have been completed, allowing students to recover their credits and meet graduation requirements. Will spends the majority of his out-of-class time working behind the scenes to ensure that all the sites and staff and students are set to go in the A+ program. This is not an easy job. He provides one-to-one service as well as large group training to our staff. Plus, he works closely with certificated staff, administrators, classified staff to set up the courses, enroll the students, and make sure all successful completions are noted and are on the students' official transcripts. What he has made possible over the years is beyond commendable. May this RAVE Award be a small token of appreciation for all that you have done well and what it does for our students and staff in and out of class. You've really been a lifeline.
Thank you very much.
So thank you. Big honor. So I present to you the RAVE Award, recognizing all valuable employees.
Thank you very much.
So congratulations
Thank you
very
very
much. And you can have this write-up.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
You want to say anything?
I wasn't.
I will,
yeah. I'll say that really this award, today I was over at Heritage talking to a teacher, and then I was talking to a teacher on the phone after that, and really at the sites, the teachers in the trenches, in the labs, working with the kids. I mean, all the stuff that takes place is helping the students recover those credits, and really it is thousands of courses that students have recovered, and really just this award goes to them too, because they're working, they're in the trenches, they're taking care of the kids, they're making the calls, and they're ensuring those kids are also passing those courses in the labs. So just, this is a team effort. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, congratulations. And Will, now that the students are going to be doing A+ on their Chromebooks, your job's going to even get more difficult. So thanks for your leadership.
Okay. Now, if the students that are still here would like to leave, this might be a good time. You are welcome to stay for the whole meeting. It's always so exciting and everything. Or others would like to go. You may go now, but should be okay. Okay. Okay, thank you for your patience. Now, CSEA President Robert Colvin.
Well, the first thing I wanted to do was to tell the representative from Heritage not to feel bad about in the second round losing Santa Monica. Those people live on the beach. They live it. So that's fantastic. But anyway, President Hallstrom, board members, Dr. Greenberg, cabinet members, thank you for allowing me to come up here and speak. Just give you some update. There's not a whole lot going on this time of year, but we have had 2 months of nominations for our executive board and for our negotiations team. And we will be voting on those nominations at our December chapter meeting, of which happens every December to be on the same night as the school board meeting. So I will not be here at the December meeting. I will be at our chapter meeting. But what I would like to do, if I may, real quick, is I'd like to approach the bench and thank President Halford for approaching the bench. And also publicly announce for those that don't know, I am retiring myself as president of our CSEA chapter. I'm not going to say I did in 2 years what Vicky didn't know.
Looks like you're running for office.
I'm not done. Thank you.
Thank you for office.
schedule, we plan to sunshine our negotiations topics in January. And there are a few things that seem a little bit repetitive in this meeting, with awards and recognitions and so forth like that. But in honor of the cadet from CMI getting a uniform, I don't have a red bracelet, but I am going to take off this tie, which I've worn to board meeting after board meeting. And if those haven't noticed it, there's a school theme tie with bus on it. You're stopping at the tie, right? I would like to personally present Dr. Greenberg.
And what I like, Rob, is that the came with the stains already on it.
And it's a team tie that's designed by a student. So.
Yeah, no, these are great. Thank you so much.
Certainly. And I would like. Thank you. I would like to make known to you that it is 100% silk. It is not polyester like John Deeper's suit.
He's from USC, so no surprise.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Now PSCA President Paul Clay.
I asked Rob to borrow his tie, but he said it didn't go with my shirt. So, I wanted to add before the ladies did leave that the unit that we teach on the 1920s and 30s covers Paul Robeson's experience, and that is one of my students' favorite sections to cover. It has to do with the music and culture, especially of the Harlem era, and it is one of their favorite sections. Of course, it's still academic, and we make them work. Thank you again for this opportunity to address the Paris Union High School Board. And Trustee Bill Hallstrom, congratulations again. And I'm sure you'll be hearing that for the next several days. I would next like to congratulate all the winners of the recent election in the district, Trustee Twyman and Trustee-elect Arose. And if I mispronounced it, please correct me. I'm kind of going on Dr. Greenberg's pronunciation right now, so I'm working on that. And I would also like to thank all those who ran for this office. It has been a characteristic of these meetings that Dr. Greenberg has often had the opportunity to tell you the news you want to hear, while I'm left with the news that you really need to hear. That's just the way it is. In fact, the best news I often have to report is no news at all. And in fact, if you may remember back in July, I really did not have anything to bring up. But I would like to start by addressing the situation with Mr. Dwight Asbury. As you know, he brought a civil suit against the district for discrimination and retaliation. He reached a mediated settlement with the district, and I won't discuss any of the terms, of course, except to say that Mr. Asbury did indeed resign. I am making this announcement here because students are getting the wrong impression. They are saying all sorts of different things about this, and I want to make it clear that really the only part of this agreement that is public knowledge is that he did resign. And I don't want the students of this district to have the wrong impression. Some other district will be getting this fine educator now. While we are talking about discrimination, I also wanted to point out again that this administration in the last 2 years has done poorer than usual in reducing the disparity of race among administrators. While about 15 white administrators were hired or promoted, about the nearest I can figure is that less than half that number from minority groups. And while we are speaking of administrators, it also seems that the district may be beyond the mandated cap, a ratio of the number of administrators per teacher as required by law. I count right now approximately 23 administrators in the schools, and that does include CMI. There are potential financial penalties associated with this. And by the way, I also estimate, and I would have to really do a little bit more research on this, but it looks like the maximum number of administrators we should be entitled to under the law is 24 or 25. Special education is a continued problem in this district. I couldn't list for you all the problems. In the last 6 weeks, I've been looking at this. There are just too many things to cover in the time permitted. But let me give you just two examples. Heritage High School never replaced a special education teacher who resigned last spring, resulting in many of the teachers having more than the legal limit of students in their classes or under their caseload. Thank you. I couldn't think of the words. At several sites, I found out too that many special education teachers are being, many special education students are being concentrated into individual classes. Again, a potential violation. On the bright side, when problems like these were brought to the attention of the administration at Paris High, actions were begun to correct them. Lack of collaboration has been a hallmark of this district. Plans are evolved in secret without consultation of the association in situations that potentially defy the collective bargaining agreement. Last year, it was the proposed ED program. This year, it is the proposed changes to A+ program, credit recovery program, which we feel will affect our working conditions of employment and perhaps more significantly for the students and the community, present further diminishment of academic standards and increased security problems. This could lead to serious implications with UC, Cal State, and even WASC. And there has been some back and forth on this recently between me and Dr. Greenberg, and as you well know. But I'm still not satisfied with the responses I've gotten. This has been done and delivered essentially without any kind of input or even advisement to the association. It is something that is material, and we do expect to have some kind of sit down and talk about this, if not tomorrow, then some other time. And I do appreciate your time. Thank you again, and have a good Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Okay, invitation to address the Board of Trustees. Individual person wishing to be heard by the board shall first be recognized by the president, then shall proceed to comment as briefly as the subject permits. Individual speakers shall be allowed
3 minutes.
That's different, isn't it? 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board should limit the total time of public input on each item at 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease time allowed. Okay, first of all, Paris PHS, Elizabeth Ayala.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to speak today. Thank you. My name is Elizabeth Ayala, and I'm a parent, a resident in the city of Paris. My daughter attends Paris High School. When I look at your brochure here, I notice it said mission statement of the Paris Unified High School. The governing board believes the mission of the district is to provide quality educational programs and meaningful programs. Now, that alone is a good mission statement. But what I'm hoping that this board believes in its students. My daughter, for the past 3 years, has been trying to enroll into the Honor Society, Paris High School Honor Society. For the past 3 years, she's went into the program and was told that either the meeting was canceled or she could not enroll. As a senior, for this year, they came up with a new policy for the program. But rather than recruiting the students and putting them into the program, they are putting restrictions on the students and making it harder for them to enroll. I don't see how this helps the students. I do see that it's restricting students and feel that it is not a good thing. My daughter is a senior, and she's been training and trying to, like I mentioned, to attend and enroll into this program. The meetings have been canceled. Currently, I was told that the meeting for November was canceled. This is just a continuous thing with this program. At this point, I don't know what else to do. As it gets to the end of the year and gets closer and closer, this is the delay I have been going through with this program for the past 3 years. Sometimes it gets to the point you just want to give up. But if I do, who will fight for my daughter and all the other seniors at Paris High School? the policy and procedures that this program has implemented is no seniors. No seniors are not allowed to enroll. I feel that if a senior qualifies and has earned the right to be a part of this honor society, they should. Under this qualification for the honor society, my daughter not only has met the qualification, but has exceeded. She is number one. She has been number one in the past 3 years and currently holds the highest GPA at Paris High School and valedictorian for this year so far. She is number one at the Paris High School. She's in the RLTC program and is number one of the whole entire battalion. May I go on? Yes. I just want to enclose, with that said, is that I really hope that the board looks into this program, because I need you to help me fight for not only my daughter, but all the other seniors. My daughter has worked very, very hard. She volunteers every summer and tutors her fellow students. We're a big advocate in the city. We love the city of Paris and this school district. This district has done so much for my family. And she is the running for the military academy schools this year. So she has the highest GPA, and yet the Honor Society has been telling her she can't go in there. She can't be involved. Please, I'm asking you for your assistance in this. Thank you, and I appreciate the extra time.
Thank you. Someone will be contacting you soon.
Thank you. And also, thank you. And I know the past, Mr. Holstrom, you've been great to this school district. It is a very loss that you're leaving, but I know it's a great gain for you as well, retiring. But thank you very much from me and behalf of my family for everything you've done for this district.
Thank you very much. And Brady McCarron.
Thank you, President Hellstrom. Appreciate it. As you can see tonight, I brought no prepared statement because I wanted to speak to you from the heart. And if you speak to the heart from the heart, you can't read it off a piece of paper. So first of all, I am overdue in congratulating Mr. Arrow on his victory. From candidate to candidate, so nobody else listen, a lot of people have asked me how you did it, and I say, I don't know, but if ever I run for office again, he's going to be one of the first 3 people I put on my campaign because he won, and I didn't, and I need someone like that to help me win next time. So congratulations to you, sir, and also thank you for being a professional. Unlike somebody else who ran, I appreciate that. So I wanted to go on public record today to issue a bunch of thank yous because without the people who helped me, any type of campaign that I had would not have been possible. So I wanted to say a huge thank you to Mr. Clay and Mr. Colvin. I know a lot of times you guys... Did Rob leave already? Oh, there, out there. Okay. They say don't call me Mr., but when you respect somebody, you have to do that. So also to Paul and Rob, thank you to you and to your organizations for all the help that you gave without not only just the money and the endorsements, but the help that you gave throughout the campaign. I would not have gotten anywhere with that. Also to the encouragement of some people who can and cannot be named because they were not supposed to weigh one way or another on it. I want to say thank you personally, and to the encouragement of all the other people who within the district had done so as well too. My grandmother always used to say, I'm going to give you some advice, so don't stare at my mustache, but listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, because Grandma had a mustache. You guys know that. I've said that before. It's true. And so one of the best pieces of advice she always gave me, she said, Brady, in life, people and things are going to knock you down, but they had better hope that they knock you out, because if you get knocked down and you can look up, then damn it, you will get up. So I got knocked down, but I can look up, and so now I'm going to get up. It kind of hurt, but immediately afterwards, I was amazed by how many people were there to pick me up and say, come on, let's go. We got other things to do. And to them, and including people in this room already, it was amazing to me. But the ones that got me the most were, believe it or not, 2 students at Heritage and 2 students at CMI who caught me off campus and said, Mr. Brady, did you win the election? And I said, no, unfortunately I didn't. And without hesitation, the next words out of their mouth were, good, when are you coming back to teach? And I said, crap, that's the destiny I'm supposed to have right there. So I am doing things, moving forward, moving on to other things. So for a while, I may not be around as much. I know a lot of you are saying, whoo, all right. Especially Sarah with the clock. She's going to be, oh, thank God. So, but I just want to let you know, Paul, Rob, even though he's leaving, he'll be, to whomever takes his office, Dr. Greenberg, Candace, I worked with you on a few committees as well, too. All of you have my phone number. Don't throw it away just yet. Please keep it. Call me when you need me. My offer still stands and will always stand. When a teacher needs something, call me. Would you tell him, what is he, smoking? He doesn't smoke. Did he go out for a smoke break just because he didn't want to hear me? Whatever. Tell him if a member ever needs something, you call me. I'll be there. I will always be there for any employee of the district because over the last 5 years, they have not become employees of the district. They have all become my friends, and a friend will never leave a friend. So thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm out.
Thank you, Brady.
Miss Ayala, what's your daughter's name?
Leslie Ayala.
Okay, consent calendar, approval of consent calendar items. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
David and Joan. Any comments, questions? Okay, please vote. Okay, oral reports, introduction of promoted or new employees. I think we did that already.
Yes.
Okay. Community parent outreach.
Mrs. Savage.
Thank you very much. As always, our volunteers are a very valuable resource. And volunteerism, for those of you who've never volunteered, I want you to know it is truly a great gift. So with that, this evening we have a couple young women to be recognized for their outstanding volunteerism to Paris Union High School District, specifically California Military Institute. So I'm going to invite Teresa Gonzalez, parent liaison for CMI, to come on up and share a little bit about their parent volunteers for the month of November.
Yes. Good evening, President Holstrom, Dr. Greenberg. Thank you for allowing me to be here, board members and cabinet. I have 2 parents. One of my parents is not here, but I brought my other parent. She has volunteered not only this year, but for several years now. And it's a pleasure for me to introduce her to you and let you know that she has gone above and beyond, not only helping me at the school, but she's also takes care of the cheerleaders, and her husband is a baseball coach, and she's always there for everything. And I just want to introduce Viviana Chagaray. She's my parent for November.
Viviana, this is worth $1,000, okay? It is. Okay, believe me.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Heritage High School Counseling Model of Excellence.
Board member, yay. As the board knows, we had a time out in the desert a couple months ago for Riverside County Office of Education we had the Pinacati program on student discipline, on positive behavior intervention strategies. We had the Paloma Valley program, and they were talking about their use of technology from an instructional perspective. And one of our other model of excellence program is the wonderful counseling program at Heritage High School. And so tonight we have Coral Prendergast and Sherry Adami, who are here. Notice I didn't look at notes. Who are here to tell us about that wonderful program. And, it's not about talking about other schools and what their programs are, but everybody just needs to know that what's going on in the counseling department, classified and certificated at Heritage High School, is magic, and it's making a difference when you get a 97% graduation rate. And so it's not happening because of magic, but a lot of hard work. So, ladies, tell us about your wonderful program.
Thank you so much. We want to thank the board, too, for all your continued support in the cabinet, because we do feel very supported by you guys. But we thought we'd come and just share a little bit about the award that we won and how we got there, but also kind of how counseling is changing over the last 5 to 10 years. It's changing drastically. So we wanted to make sure that you guys know the journey that we're on right now. So the AYP and API used to be graded on test scores, the CST, the CASI, and all that, but it's changing. So in the next year, it will now be 40% of it will be based on graduation data, college and career indicators, which is meeting the A through G requirements, CTE participation, and the career pathways enrollment in our AP program. So when we heard this, we had a program from our COE come out and talk to all the counselors in the district about this program, and they said this is where it's changing. And as counselors, we really feel like this is our role. We're going to be the ones on the campus to get this number to where it needs to be. Because when this is published in the newspapers, we take a lot of pride in what we do in counseling, and we want to make sure that our school and our district as a whole is moving forward and makes leaps and bounds for these rates that are going to be published in the newspapers. So we want to let you know that we take this very seriously, that this is our role. So starting in the spring, we started to talk to our faculty, and we said, listen, staff at Heritage, the counselors did a presentation and said, this is where we're going, and this is where we've got to meet. This is going to be in the newspaper. We need to raise our A through G rates. We need to raise our graduation rates. And just kind of talk to the staff about there's 2 portions to that. There's access, and then there's success. So our role as counselors is the access. Are we providing access for our students? Are we placing them in the right classes? Are we having those talks with them to make sure that they are, what are they doing to explore the different colleges? Are they getting their grades up, the D's and F's and those kinds of things? Are we raising the bar for them? And then the other part would be the teachers, which would be success. They have to get a C or higher to go on to college and that. So really working with the staff and brainstorming on how we can all move together forward to make sure we're all on the same team so that our students are achieving at the highest rate. It was a great staff meeting, and a lot of good things came out of it. The teachers said they weren't very familiar with A through G, so we started to train them on that. We made posters for every single classroom that has our specific A through G courses, and just really started looking at what we're doing as school-wide to bring that forward. And then the counseling staff went back, and we said, okay, the county goal is 40%. We've got to get 40% of our kids to meet A through G. How are we going to do this? So we spent a day. We said, let's take our top 40% of this year's seniors. So last year they were juniors. We sat down and said, we're going to create a program and target these students specifically for what they need. We're going to get these students to meet A through G so that our district looks good, so that our school looks good, and we're meeting the goals that need to be met. So we placed very strategic interventions in place for these students, and it's been a lot of work, but the success for these students has been overwhelming, and it's just so exciting to see them move, and kids going to college that never thought they had the chance to go to college. And with it, like Dr. Greenberg said, our graduation rate is 97%. Last year we had 4 kids at the end of the year, 4 kids not make it, and all 4 of those made it after summer school. So we take a lot of pride in that because we spend hours and hours hunting these kids down. Why are your grades like this? Come on, we got to get your grades up. We got to get you where you need to be. And so we're very, very proud of that. Is this still me? Okay. So one of the things that we do, we didn't have a lot of time to prep this. One of the things that we do is we talk to our students who get a D or an F. Every progress report, we pull those lists and we make sure that we make contact with every single senior. So every senior on campus who has a D or an F is going to get a talk from their counselor. And we have individual forms that we fill out where we make the kids commit to, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to tutoring? This is the form. Are you going to go to tutoring? Are you going to have a parent-teacher conference? You know, what are we going to do to get this up? And so we do meet individually with all of our seniors, but then we target specific groups. And we've really been looking at data at how can we make the most amount of kids rise with only 5 counselors on our campus. So our caseloads are about 600. So it's a little overwhelming to tackle. So we had to make strategic groups because we can't talk to all of them, obviously. So we started to go into classrooms. And this is some things that we pulled from the PowerPoint from our last presentation. We took every transcript and explained to them, this is what it looks like. This is what your transcript, how it's going to be affected, how to talk to your teachers, how to bridge those gaps and say, okay, I'm not doing well. How can I get my assignments? You know, don't ask them for extra credit, those kinds of things. We had to go over them because they honestly don't know. How to log into their IC portal and all those things so that they can raise their success rate. And as you can see, the statistics, it's kind of small, but up on the left, we're all in the high 90s of that kids felt more successful after we met with them. We try to always do now a survey on their Chromebooks so we can gauge if it's making an impact what we're doing. And it's in the 90% that kids are feeling like they can bring up their D's and F's, that they know the strategies of how to do that they feel more comfortable talking to their teachers. So that's one of the things that we're doing, but Sherry's going to talk about specific programs that we've created that are doing great things on campus.
Thank you very much for hearing our presentation, and we're very proud of our school, our system, and the district that we work for, because truly with our leadership that we have and our principal, Julie Zerold, we wouldn't have the ability to try these new ideas and and it's to move our kids forward. And that's what we're trying to do, is move our kids forward. So the exciting thing is the Legacy Project, and we're so excited about this. 2 years ago, we changed our script because we heard about this A through G Common Core stuff coming down the pipe. So 2 years ago, we started changing the kids and the class schedules that they're getting and all that. But last year, we decided we are going to start the Legacy Project. These are the kids that are your middle student, the 40% that we decided that have a 2.5 GPA or higher, and we're going to get them on board with A through G. And we're going to get them on board through A through G by planning many activities, which I'm going to get to in a second. But it ended up being about 200 kids. And with those 200 kids, if we could move those kids plus the AVID kids, this is a quasi-AVID program because we're AVIDizing the school. We're going to move our A through G completion rates to 40% or higher. And it's not just to get the kids into a 4-year, it's to get them college and career ready, because the statistics show if the students meet the A through G rates, they're going to be more successful in college and career. So at community college, military. So when we pull these Legacy kids together, we explain to them, this is not just for 4-year, this is for your success in the future. And we pulled them in. We had a rah-rah pep assembly. Am I getting ahead of myself? No. We had a rah-rah pep assembly type activity in the theater. We had music playing. The kids come in. They didn't really know what they were getting into. We had individual folders with their names on it, with transcripts in there where each counselor hand wrote on the transcripts what they need to do to meet the A through G requirements. So it really made it personal to the kids. It wasn't having 200 kids sitting in the theater and us going wah, wah, wah to them. We got their buy-in. They're excited. And we're excited this year because this year's class is our first Legacy class. This year we've started with juniors, so now we have Legacy 15 and Legacy 16. And our goal is next year to have the sophomores. We'll have Legacy 16, 17, and 18. So that's our goal for that. Okay, now to do that, to move these kids... Did I go back one? There we go. Okay. To do that, we had to really look at our master schedule, and we had to work with our principal and the district office on what are the classes that we're offering, because if the classes that we're offering are not leading these kids to A through G, we need to really reevaluate that. So that's where we changed our script with the kids. With the freshmen, we call it the Costco effect. We narrow their course offerings that they can take. We tried to move them into foreign language and fine art their freshman year, because then they'll meet that A through G requirement earlier. And if they struggle, we have time to take care of them their junior and senior year. So we really revamped the master schedule. We had a lot of support. We got new foreign language teachers hired on staff to help support the growth in foreign language, because when we met with the county officials, that was the one area where we were lacking in supporting the kids through A through G was foreign language. We evaluated 500 transcripts, and foreign language was the one category that we were not moving the kids through for A through G. They would take 1 year of foreign language and be done. So now they're taking 2. And it's funny because since we've changed the script, the non-A through G kids, if you want to call them that, are coming in and say, aren't I supposed to take a second year of foreign language? Well, you sure are. Here you go. They put them right in. Because they used to say, I don't need to take a second year of a foreign language for graduation. Now they're saying, I need to take a second year of foreign language for community college. I need to take a second year to prepare myself for the future. So that's exciting for us. So here's some of the activities that we've done with our legacy kids. Last month we took a field trip to Cal State San Marcos, which was really exciting because we had graduates, alumni, there going to class, seeing our kids walk across campus, and they're like, oh my gosh, there's so-and-so, and there's so-and-so, Miss Adami. It was really neat to see that because it really showed our students, our current students, that is attainable for them because they just saw some of our graduates. Parent nights, we've had three parent nights, and the parents love it because they need that communication about what needs to happen to go to college, and they need that communication to support their students. The parent night, the first one was introducing legacy, and the parents were so excited because some parents didn't even know that their children were eligible to go to a four-year university. Their kid was just moving along through the system. They're a good kid. They didn't even know. So that was part of the legacy project, is to move the parents in that direction too, not just the kids. Those are 2 pictures. We did a college search in the theater. We brought 176 of the legacy students in last spring, and they did a college search on Bridges, and they had to do a worksheet. And it was really neat because some kids came up at the end and said, can I have more than one worksheet? Because I want to research more than one college. And that's when you know they're getting it. They're getting it. All right. And then last year we took them to the National College Fair by, I can never remember what it is, but it's the National Association of College Admissions Counselors College Fair. And it's Ontario, and there's about 200 schools from all over the country that come. So we took a group of the legacy kids to that one. After one of our assemblies with the kids, we had the legacy students take a survey, and it's really neat to see the results. I'm not going to read it to you, but we were in the 90% of, do you feel more connected to school? And Coral's going to talk more about school connectedness in a second. 95% said they now know what to do to meet the A through G. And then, of course, my favorite one is the last one. 91% are more motivated to meet the A through G. So that's really exciting. Like I said before, we're not just focusing on the legacy students. We're Avidizing the whole school. So what we did is I went to the Avid conference this summer, the Summer Institute, I was going to say Summer Leadership, Summer Institute, and I'm not the Avid counselor, but we were able to go and look at strategies that Avid uses that we can implement school-wide with our legacy kids and the rest of the students. So that was very exciting for me to be able to participate in that and bring back some ideas. Of course, we already talked about the district-wide college fair. We just had our college application night. We had 100 parents and students show up, had a pizza party in the cafeteria, and they actually filled out their college applications on their Chromebooks. So that's another neat aspect of the technology, is they're filling out their college applications mobilely. We don't have to take a lab. We don't have to only limit it to 30 participants. We could have 100 kids in the cafeteria filling their application out all at the same time. We have representatives from the colleges, but the last one I want to talk about is the AccuPlacer, and that's the community college assessment that students take before they attend a community college, and we actually do that on campus. We've been trained by MSJC, and last year, for example, we tested over 100 students so they could take care of their assessment prior to going to the community college. So they took care of that before they left. So it helps with that bridge, helps with that transition. Okay, some real quick data. We are following the county lead, and the county is doing a big FAFSA push called Racing to Submit, because one of the barriers to keep kids out of school, community college, and four-year is finances. And so our goal at Heritage is we're going to look at the percentage of students that receive free and reduced lunch, because all of those kids should be eligible for a Cal Grant if they receive free and reduced lunch. So right now, 70% is our goal to get FAFSA completion. Last year, we've been working hard on it. We were at 59%. This year is 70%. So we have a whole marketing campaign. We're going to start in January. So maybe we'll come back and report that to you after that. Our SAT preparation. If you look at the data on the right, I know it looks lower, but this is November. So we're already on track to beat our SAT participation from last year. So this is only through November. The PSAT participation has jumped. We did over 350 kids we did on the PSAT this last time around. And that's pretty impressive, especially because we were not able to do a school-wide, class-wide PSAT offering. And now I'm going to pass it on to Coral.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the impact that we as counselors have on the culture of the school and how we've seen that grow in the last couple of years. So Link Crew is a program which you're very familiar with from all the schools. But Mr. Washburn, one of our counselors, is one of the leads for Link Crew. So he's training those kids, doing the Link alerts, and he spends a lot of time with that. It's one of the big roles that we play in that. Also with Plus, Sherry goes out and trains the Plus leaders on how to do small group counseling, and she's always at the Plus forums, her or Mr. Washburn are, to make sure that the students, if there is something that's going a little deeper, they're there to address the issue and pull that student aside and counsel them as well. But go ahead. With the PBIS too, our administration is obviously doing a lot with PBIS to move the suspension rates and referrals and all of that kind of stuff forward, and they're doing a fantastic job at it. But one of the things they came to us last year and they said, so we need you guys, we think it would really have an impact if you met with every student that came back from suspension. So every time a student gets suspended at Heritage High School, that first day that they come back, they meet with a counselor and we talk about the behavior and what could have changed and what you could have done differently to make sure that that behavior doesn't happen again. Hello. But it's really talking to those kids, and then you start realizing, well, this is going on at home, and this is going on with their family, and you start to see all different other issues that are leading to that behavior, and we could start to work with that student to curb that behavior, and so they're not getting as many referrals. So you can see our referral rates have drastically dropped since we started doing that. This is a Healthy Kids survey, which we're really proud of too, is we've had a 74-point increase over the last 3 years. We went from 24% of our kids feeling safe and connected to school to 92%. And this is huge, and it's very huge. And it's not just counseling. I mean, it's all the way across the campus, great things that are happening. But I think that the role that we play is that you're all welcome to come in the counseling office at any time, and you will see lines out our doors, and the word is out that we are a safe place to come and talk to, and that kids really genuinely love to come in and share what's going on, and we're in a community that doesn't have a lot of support built in. And so, when kids' parents are going through a divorce, or the girlfriend and boyfriend breaks up, or yesterday I spent 3 hours with a girl who was going to end her life. And when we look at all this great stuff academically that's happening in this district, which is great stuff, and we're getting kids to college and graduating that maybe they're the first ones in their family, but also that is maybe, we spend 30 to 40% of our day dealing with personal issues in our office that kids are going through, and crying kids, and different things. So when you look at the task that has to be done, and these are our department goals, which we're really excited about, but we do have 600 kids on our caseload, and that's a lot. And so we're excited to maybe move forward, and hopefully there will be more counselors coming on to help with this and our new goals. But just saying, just to support our new goals, because we have so much stuff we're excited about and we want to do. We do. So much more we can do. Yes. So much more we can do. We could have such an impact with less kids. So we want to spend more time personalizing that career and college stuff, really spending the time at looking at where they want to go and making sure we can help them get there. Because like this legacy program is huge, and these kids, it's a lot of time to sit down with every single one and go through, DREAMAC and FAFSA and all that kind of stuff. We want to increase our parent communication and activities to support their needs. So we were talking about with FAFSA, not only doing FAFSA workshops to help them line by line like we do now, but then budget planning, or maybe looking at the different colleges with the parents, helping the parents with study skills and things like that they could be doing at home. We want to do more parent nights. We want to target the attendance issues. We've started to go on home visits once a month to tackle some of those issues, and it's been a really great thing. because I know that's the district goals, but we'd also like to do more one-on-one with the families as to why they're not getting to school and provide those resources for them so that we can help them. We want to go more in depth on interventions to support the failing grades that are in the district, because we really need to take those students and help them. We'd like to talk to every single student every grading period that has a D or an F. It's just not manageable right now. We have to do small group settings, but we'd love to be able to do it one-on-one. And we want to increase the small group support. We've been bringing in different groups to come and help our students with small groups. We run them ourselves also, which, you know, I usually run a girls group, which I cherish and love. Sherry runs a foster group, which is phenomenal to help them with resources. We do drug and alcohol, we do cutting and things like that. But there's so much more that we could do and that we're excited about. And that's the part of our job we also just really love to do, to get to know those kids that maybe aren't the academic high kids, or maybe they're not the athletes, so they're kind of under your radar. But you can really help move them to the next level when you address what's going on in their heart and they get to a stable place. They can do so much better in the classroom. And so that's kind of a little bit about what we do and where our job is going, where it's been going in the next 5 years here. So we're excited. We love our jobs. We love being at Heritage. It's a great place to be. And if you ever want to come in the counseling office, it's not just the counselors. We have an office staff. Our ladies are phenomenal, and everybody just loves kids and wants to see them do better. So we'd love to have you anytime you'd like to come in our office.
Well, ladies, I have to tell you, it's not about Paloma or Paris or their programs or CMI. And I know Dr. Rouse has a counseling department at Rubidoux. This department isn't like it's like the best in the state. It's really, and so it's not meant as a negative to the other schools, but this is really, I know Mrs. Twyman, you were smiling and going, wow, that's what counseling's all about. But, thank you so much for what you do and the model that you're creating for the district that, we just need to clone you guys if it's possible.
I did want to ask you, is the recommended amount still 300?
I thought you'd never ask. I'm just kidding.
The American School Counselor Association recommends 250 to 1. We know that's a little unrealistic. The national average is 400 to 450 to 1, and right now, district-wide, we're about 600 to 1.
And I would agree, and I would tell you that's a problem statewide. Again, it's a finance issue, but I have to tell you, I would like to add a counselor at Heritage because I like what they're doing, and you just don't want to throw. And it's no knock on Paloma or Paris, but I want to see programs that look like this and reward them with more counselors rather than doing what we've done since the 1960s. And that's an indictment of counseling throughout California that I've seen in 9 school districts, is that if we just keep adding counselors but don't change the way they operate, then we're going to get more of the same results. So,
It does seem very focused, and it sounds great. I'm really proud of you. It sounds like you're really doing a good job. Just wanted to ask.
Pretty amazing. Yeah, well, we need to add counselors. I agree.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just want to say, great. Can I have some of the vitamins you all are taking? I'm really impressed. I was a counselor many moons ago, and so I'm really impressed with your program too. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much. Okay, discipline suspension report for October. Okay, action items, general functions, agreements for employment, assistant superintendent, business services, assistant superintendent, educational service, assistant superintendent, human resources, and executive director, human resources. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Ed and Joan. Okay, I'm going to kind of go over a little brief about what we're doing here.
Well, I have to tell you, as superintendent, I get the good fortune of working with 4 incredibly talented people who obviously I'm recommending that, as we do every year, their contracts go back from 2 years back to 3 years. I couldn't imagine this district without them. You can replace the superintendent a lot easier than you can these four. But the changes this year are pretty simple. For Tanya Davis as executive director and Candace Raines as assistant superintendent, all the other classified employees in the district, including our classified confidentials and classified managers, we all raised their salary by 7% earlier this year, so they would begin paying half their retirement instead of the district paying half the retirement. So it's not really a raise in a sense. So I'm recommending that for both for Candace and for Candace and Tanya, and for Steve and Marcy for their positions. And I really shouldn't use their names. I should talk about the positions. This district, and we can only go back and look 15 years back, but I'm sure it goes 20 years back, where for some reason the assistant superintendent of business was making about 7% more than the assistant superintendent of educational services or the assistant superintendent of human resources. And if the board agrees, on December 1st, the assistant sup of educational services and human resources will make 3.5% more than their current salary, or I should say that salary schedule will be increased by 3.5%. And then on July 1st, we'll have just one salary schedule for the three assistant superintendents. And that's it in a nutshell. And again, I highly value these four people, and the district is fortunate to have them here.
Okay, any other comments, questions, or anything? Now, I just personally think that this group of employees needs to have a salary schedule that's what they get. They can see every year how much more they're going to make, and that's just kind of like the teachers and where there's a salary schedule for them. And, you're hired, this is what you're going to get, unless there's a district-wide pay raise or something for you, but this is what you get. And whether it's questionable or not, I think it's fair for all those positions. So,
and Mr. Holstrom, I wanted you to know, I noticed this 5 years ago, but 5 years ago we were in the middle of the recession, and I just thought with furlough days and changing salary schedules, it just didn't make any sense. So that's why we're bringing it to you now. And again, it's just to make sure, like we have a uniform salary schedule for teachers and classified employees, we need the same for the assistant superintendent position. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, no more comments. Please vote. Okay. Okay, general function superintendent's contract. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
David and Joan. Okay, any comments, questions about this? Okay, I need to say this one issue on this one has bothered me. I think this is a good contract, a good thing to do for Jonathan, but my problem with it is that the feature of that when he retires, he'll get medical coverage until he's 65. My problem is that having been on the negotiations many years ago and having gone through CPAs telling us there wasn't any money, and so no employees got money. So they agreed to no pay raises, and then the board turned around and raised the salary for the superintendent, even though there was no money for pay raises. My problem is that if all employees who retire get the same feature, I would be for it more. Really I'm not particularly against this contract. I think this is a fair contract for the district. And if you read about some of the other superintendents, what they get for medical coverage after they retire, some of them are obscene. This one is not. This was fair. But I just still have this thing way back there when I was a negotiator. So that's my view on it. I think it's contract. I think it's fair for everybody. Okay? Any other comments or questions? Okay, please vote. Okay. Action item personnel request to submit application for a provisional internship permit for Patricia Jones. Motion, please. Edward and David. Explanation?
Yeah. Steve, you want to give a quick explanation?
Sure. This is for we did recruiting for special ed teacher, moderate severe teachers. We were having a hard time getting anybody who we felt was qualified. The pool is very shallow out there. And we found that we actually within our own district we had a paraeducator who was working on our program. This is one way to be able to hire somebody who we knew was qualified, has everything but the paperwork, and so this helped us to bring that person forward. Somebody we feel very good about, who already had a history with the kids, and this is something that's being used throughout the county, throughout the state, for that matter, because of the shortage in teachers that are there. And we're very fortunate to have somebody within district who we knew already, who we knew would fit the bill for us, and she would do a great job. So that's why we're bringing this forward too. It requires board approval for us to do this.
Okay. Any questions or anything else? Okay, please.
I just have a quick comment. Special ed teachers are really hard to come by, and especially good ones. And so if you have a good one, you better pick them up. Thank you.
Okay, please vote. Revolving cash report, always exciting.
Chris finds it really exciting.
Still cash, revolving cash report?
Okay, information items, board policies on personnel. Next. Closed session?
Not necessary, sir.
Very good. Okay, discipline, board review of student discipline matters, ratification agreement of expulsions. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Please vote. Yay. Didn't appear up there.
Here it is.
Oh. Okay, next. Other items by the superintendent.
The only one I want to say is that our new assistant principal at CMI, when she was introduced, she failed in a very important test. She forgot to introduce somebody, I think, significant in her life. So do you want to introduce Robin? We didn't bring, but then nobody else would be here because not everybody's going to stay for the CMI meeting.
Okay, Robin.
So, okay, you didn't fail. We'll give you a C. But could you stand up and introduce that significant person next to you?
I'd like to introduce you to Armand Dion Davis, who's my spouse. We've been married for about a year now. So.
Other items by the board. Carolyn?
When is our next unification report?
Well, I have to talk to the Menifee Union School District, but again, as a reminder, until we get that high school built, I mean, we can spend time looking at unification reports and 9th through 12th grade enrollment, but until we have a state school bond money and can decide about when that high school, and of course, don't forget, we have a middle school that also needs to be built.
Remind me again, when is the date of that new high school?
There is no date. And the reason there's no date is we have our share to build that high school, but the state has to come up with their share. And right now there's no state school bond money. Maybe there'll be a bond in 2016. If there is, our goal is to get both schools in line, ready to be funded. I know that's not a direct answer to you, Mrs. Twyman, but if I gave you a year, I would just be guessing. And Candace reminds me, Jonathan, please don't guess about years of completion or dollars. Am I following that correctly?
That was perfect. Yeah. I was only going to add, not correct, that we will at the next board meeting be doing a presentation both on high school 4 and middle school 2. As Jonathan mentioned, what we're doing is getting in line for state funding, and part of the process of that so that we can be first in line for when money becomes available is getting the plans approved. So we want to give you one last look at the plans before they go into design development and the phases where it's much more difficult to make changes. Mr. Arau, we're glad that you'll be at that meeting, and my team and myself will offer to you, a sit down if you want to get, more caught up than the 15 minutes we'll spend with the board. But we're really excited about the plans for both schools.
Well, and Mrs. Twyman, I want you to know what Menifee is growing like leaps and bounds these days. And right now, if unification were to happen, we close the doors July 1, 2015, we're talking about getting Paloma over 4,000 students, going to 5,000, meaning 4,000 will be quick, 5,000 will be even faster. And so, and all the other students who'll be going to Heritage from throughout the rest of the district, there may not be seats for those students in a newly unified district. So, we certainly know that with 2 high schools, Menifee has a chance. But Steve Kennedy, the superintendent there, was telling me that they have close to 9,000 students, and they're expecting in build-out 30,000 students in Menifee. So that's going to take a lot of school construction. So all of us are doing everything we can to get both schools in line, so that once that happens, then we might be able to give you a better date on completion of the school, and then the Menifee board can talk to this board about their plans for unification. That's really the best information I could give you right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Ed, anything? David?
I just wanted to say congratulations on your retirement, Bill. And when I joined the board 2 years ago, I had a good opportunity to learn from somebody who's been doing it for a while, and I'd like to say thank you for all the advice you've given me and everything that was gone on in the last 2 years. So thank you.
Oh, it's been a good run. And it's very sad. It's also, I'm kind of glad too. And I look back and I saw a lot of former students out there that I'm proud of them, and I'm proud of being able to work all the wonderful people here. Thank you very much. Motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
And Edward, and please vote.